transformation of the mind. I have written about a variety of kriyas that take place in the body, mind, and external daily life of a person after the Kundalini energy is activated by a guru. However, what is important as far as a practitioner is concerned is not the various types of reactions which manifest. Rather, it is the transformation of the mind and the net resultant state which is crucial. As the reactions are manifested in the body by the all knowing supreme primordial energy, the mind is also simultaneously cleaned of all the sensual impressions that were ever recorded. As a result, the mind is elevated to higher platforms step by step, thus broadening the intellect in a comprehensive manner. I will narrate own experiences pertaining to how my mind has been altered, or to put in a better way, I will narrate the effects on my personal life that resulted as my mind was slowly transformed. The first positive casualty of the Kundalini energy awakening in my body was my religious, philosophical, and ethical beliefs. Readers might recall what I had mentioned in one of the earlier chapters about the baby wheel walker. I would like to humbly request that the readers to remember one crucial aspect of any religion or belief. It is only an instrument to help you grow just like a baby wheel walker. Once the purpose is achieved, these instruments are no longer required. Moreover, they become a hindrance to further growth. By saying this, I do not wish to show any kind of arrogance or disrespect to the belief that were sustained earlier. In fact, they are the very reason for our growth. No one can forget the elementary school in which they learned the alphabet. Even if a person has become a great scholar in any discipline, the result is obviously due to everything that had been leaned up until that point. This kind of logic applies to a normal earthly education. However, in the case of the spiritual sciences, the logic is somewhat different with a little modification. A student or a practitioner picks up a particular religious belief or philosophy so that the person can grow up. However, a state comes when a person needs to drop all that was learned. Let us take another example to illustrate this point. A person may be worshipping the Almighty in a particular form. A stage now comes when the form of the Almighty is required to be dropped from the mind as the realization sets in that the God has no form. What happens subsequently, I cannot say. I'm not in such an advanced stage of yoga practice. I'm only trying to humbly convey a point to the readers about an intermediate state of mind that occurs after the Kundalini energy is woken up in a person. Every person will ultimately have to manifest the divinity within their self on their own without any outside help. A guru is a medium through which this happens, that too with his or her grace alone. This is the crux of the entire matter. The second positive casualty that occurred in my personal life is the loss of interest in socializing. Social life itself not left me completely, since my previous karmas have not yet been completely erased. However, I have lost interest in it. When a large chunk of sensual impressions or karmas are erased from the mind by the premortal energy, the effect is clearly felt inside the mind. However, readers are requested to remember what I have said in one of the earlier chapters, that the manifestation of the kriyas are not compartmentalized. That means cleaning of the mind of a particular category of sensual impressions may not be completely over before a new kriya starts manifesting. Similarly, I lost my appetite for music, movies, television, internet, books, magazine, newspapers, etc. Once in a while, I have a look at them, and that is about it. Similarly, I used to be very fond of traveling in my car alone to exotic places. I have completely lost my any interest as such towards this kind of activity. Let me narrate a few other incidents to illustrate how the urge is permanently removed by the all-knowing cosmic power from the mind of a person. While I was living in the city of Jalandhar in the state of Punjab, I one day suddenly felt a strong urge to cook food, something that I had never done earlier in my life. I went and bought all the necessary things I needed to cook, and there I was on a fast lane cooking all sorts of exotic dishes. I had started spending a lot of money and time shopping for all the necessary kitchenware and ingredients. What had happened over the next few weeks was amazing. I was busy cutting, chopping, and peeling vegetables for long hours on a daily basis as if I was possessed by some unknown demons inside my body. Suddenly, I used to wake up from my bed and start chopping the vegetables. I used to spend hours trying to cook exotic dishes quite late into the night. This sort of activity continued for several weeks, and then all of a sudden, one day, I completely lost the urge to do any kind of cooking at all. All my kitchenware were packed and shoved inside the wooden cabinet. However, once in a while, I would still feel the urge to cook and would buy lots of vegetables and store them in the refrigerator. But that's about it. I never cooked. After a few days, I would throw away the vegetables again after several days. I urged to cook would surface once again. Again, I used to throw away the vegetables after holding on to them for a few days. This is the process of cleaning the mind of all sensual impressions pertaining to cooking activity ever done by a person. Incidents of this nature pertaining to a wide variety of activities have occurred on numerous occasions. Every person has a variety of fantasies and desires in their mind. The all knowing supreme primordial energy will ensure that all these are removed from the mind by manifesting a variety of kriyas and reactions. Various events takes place in daily life in a mild form so that different urges are removed from the mind. All fantasies and desires are fulfilled in the mild form so that there is no more urge left towards that particular attraction in life. Similarly, all fears and anxieties are also removed so that the person is not scared about anything henceforth, either in mind or daily life. While the above mentioned processes of cleaning the mind carry on over a prolonged period of time, the mind starts experiencing as if it is being dragged inwards or collapsing towards a point of infinity inwardly. The effect is clearly felt inside the cerebral region continuously, day and night. Sound sleep is the direct outcome of this transformation. However, I would like to warn all my fellow practitioners about the particular side effect or a temporary phenomena that occurs along with this cleaning during the initial stages. When the mind is cleared of a large chunk of sensual impressions by the primordial energy, the freshly cleaned mind becomes a little hypersensitive and emotional. I had asked my guru as to why this process takes place in such an opposite contradictory manner. In fact, it is my guru who first raised this topic in one of the discussions and clarified the matter. His Holiness said that it is the natural process that accompanies the cleaning of mind during initial stages before it becomes immune to everything. Every practitioner must be aware of this phenomena. It happens in a very natural manner, temporarily, and there is no need to worry about it. My guru said that it is in fact a sign of good progress in yoga. As I had mentioned in one of the earlier chapters, many obstacles arise during the course of yoga practice. For example, whenever I used to sit for meditation, I used to take all the necessary precautionary measures so that my meditation would not be disturbed. I used to put my telephone on silent mode, ensure that all other electrical gadgets were switched off, switch off all the lights, wall the door, etc. However, whenever a disturbance has to occur, it will occur no matter what precautionary measures have been taken. The point to understand is that disturbance in meditation are a result of earlier actions. It is mandatory to undergo the disturbance so that they are gradually exhausted and they no longer trouble the practitioner. Otherwise, the uncleaned impressions will continue to disturb the meditation by manifesting as a variety of physical or mental obstacles. As my fellow practitioners are humbly requested to remember one thing: you cannot fool the all knowing supreme primordial energy even by your voluntary act of self surrender tingled with the color of egoism. The self surrender needs to be spontaneous and naturally rise from the mind, intellect, and body. Kindly do not resort to any illusionary acts of self surrender, either consciously or unconsciously. Pray to your Guru that self honesty be your very breath of life at each and every moment. The point that I want to convey to all my fellow practitioners is that obstacles do arise for everyone. It is a natural principle. Do not resist the obstacles. It is against the principle of yoga to resist. Next, I want to convey to all my readers that the state of mind may slip down during the cleaning process, but this is the natural event which occurs for everyone. There is nothing to worry about. It is only a temporary phenomenon. All yoga texts are a testimony to the fact that every practitioner of yoga is bound to sleep from time to time during the process of. Next, I want to convey to all readers that the state of mind may slip down during the cleaning process, but that is a natural event which occurs for everyone. There is nothing to worry about. It is only a temporary phenomenon. All yoga texts are a testimony to the fact that every practitioner of yoga is bound to sleep from time to time during the progress of yoga practice. It happens to each and every one as expounded by my Guru. It has happened to me on several occasions in minor ways and at least once in a major way. What happens when Kundalini energy initially awakes is that a person is rapidly taken to a very high platform and then the person sleeps. No major injury will occur. The person is initially taken to a level where the practice was stopped during the previous birth. What happens when Kundalini energy initially awakes is that a person is rapidly taken to a very high platform and then a person sleeps. No major injury will occur. The person is initially taken to level where the practice was stopped during the previous birth. Yoga practices starts from any person exactly from that stage where it was left in that past life. It will again start in the next life exactly from the stage it reaches in the present life if the person has failed to achieve the state of self-realization. It is a gift from the Almighty, the only gift which can ever truly called a gift. Various other kinds of events also occur during the process of cleaning the mind of all the sensual impressions. For example, a few minor accidents might occur in a very mild form. If you ever happen to see a yoga practitioner bumping into a minor accident, do not forget to congratulate him or her. The supreme primordial energy has just showered a blessing in the form of mild accident rather than a full-blown reaction in the form of major untoward incident. Similarly, happy events also might take place again in a mild form. Do not congratulate him or her this time. This is purely humor. Readers are requested to remember that both happy and unhappy events are eliminated by the all-knowing energy in an accelerated manner.